Welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hammel.
Welcome back, everybody. We skipped January, but we're coming strong in February. Welcome to the Dirt Life Show, Bella's Corner, Episode 5. I am Bella Birchard, your host. This is my co-host, George Hammel.
Hi, guys.
Yep.
Great to see you guys after KOH.
That was a rough 3 weeks.
Dude, it was. KOH has the motos, they have the UTVs, they have the rock race, desert race. There's so much to unpack. We're just going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what happened. We got some awesome guests, right, Belle?
Yeah, we got a great lineup. Before we get into it, we should probably thank our
let's give them
sponsors.
a rundown of what's happening on the show tonight first, and then we'll thank the sponsors.
Yeah, for sure. So we got Kyle Chaney, Saydie Gray, Christopher Polvoorde, and Michael McFayden.
Yeah, so some awesome guests, and all took part in different disciplines, right? But there was some very, very, I think massive, as far as the off-road world goes, performances that will I'll probably go down in history, like changing the way that people see rock racing and desert racing. So it'll be cool to talk to guys like Kyle Chaney and everybody else about it too. So Kyle's already requesting to join. So let's go through the sponsors super fast and then we'll get going.
All right.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, yeah. So we want to thank KMC Wheels, Motool, and Evolution Power Sports.
Yeah, and thanks to the guys at Maxxis too. They were a really, really huge help over there at KOH. Man, we had such a great time talking to those guys. A lot of those guys out there were running Rockzillas. Sweet tire to be running out there. Thanks to the guys over at Shock Therapy. You can use the discount code DIRTLIFE. Get yourself some stuff off their website. Thanks to the guys at JL Audio, bringing you all the heat whenever you want to impress everybody with some music. Thanks to the guys at Zollinger Racing Products. Really appreciate them as well. And like Bella said, everybody else. All right, Bella, do you want me to get Kyle on right now for you?
Yes.
All right, let's get going here. A little bit of background. Bella had to come home because she obviously has some stuff to do, but I was out there at KOH doing so much stuff with everybody, and to be out there just watching Kyle achieve all the greatness that he did was pretty cool. So Bella, give Kyle a good intro.
Yeah, so Kyle Chaney is a factory driver for Can-Am from Ohio. He has many experience in many different tracks and off-road vehicles, but had an insane run at the 2024 King of Hammers UTV race, so we should probably dive into that.
Yeah, welcome Kyle Chaney to the show. Kyle, I don't know if you know, but Bella has her own segment on the show, so she's going to do most of the talking today for you.
That's great. Perfect. She probably knows more than I do.
Nice to meet you, Kyle.
Yeah, you too.
Dude, KOH, wild is the only word I can think of.
Yeah, KOH is always wild. I mean, anytime KOH is brought up in anything, you just think of craziness. And if you haven't been there, it's like somewhere that anybody that's interested in off-road at all needs to go to KOH.
Dude, yeah, and totally. And there's so much to unpack too, right? But maybe tell us give us a background, like what classes did you race, and then we're going to unpack some stuff after that.
So, I mainly go to KOH for the rock race, the 4900 UTV race, and while we're there, we just started racing the 4400 race, which is where they race the big trucks. And this year we decided to do the desert race also. We've done it the last couple of years, but I didn't have such a great showing in that. We ended up hitting a bush and flipping over, but it actually ended up being a blessing because we broke some parts doing that we needed to kind of see for the rock race. Like, we wouldn't have changed them if we wouldn't have broke them in that race, and it definitely could have took us out of the rock race.
Yeah, so that was the most important thing for you, was obviously focusing on the rock race. And then so just so everybody knows, Kyle was victorious in the 4900 class, which was an insane, that by itself was a huge battle before we even talk about the 4400 stuff.
Yeah, so we decided to race the new Maverick R this year, and we didn't really know much about it. I know Phil and a couple other guys have raced it at the Ball Hog. They had good luck with it, but we didn't know much about it. So we went out and did some testing earlier in this year, and I was like, man, this could be a really good car for here. And Can-Am agreed, and then we kind of had to force them into letting us race it because they didn't know for sure if the transmission would be good in the rocks. And after we drove it in the rocks, I'm like, man, this thing's awesome. Like, we definitely want to race this. definitely better in the desert than an X3. You know, in the rocks, it's definitely harder to drive, but, you know, I knew that, you know, the advantage we would have in the desert would definitely help us get to the rocks early.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see the evolution of the side-by-sides, too. I mean, like, we did see some people driving the older car, and then you chose to drive the newer car. It was kind of like, I don't want to say a toss-up, but it was different.
Yeah, it was definitely like, it was staying on the safe side if you were going to race the X3, because, you know, the X3, you know, shoot, it's been out for 7 years, so we know exactly whatever issues that it's had or it's been resolved. You know, this R is a new platform, and, you know, I definitely didn't want to lose a crown because of it. You know, like, I was definitely on the fence of it for a while, you know, winning 3 in a row, and, you know, definitely wanting 4 Hammers championships in a row. I definitely was weighing heavy in the back of my mind.
Dude, 4 championships. Can you believe that, Bill?
I was just going to say, yeah, you have experience from winning the last 3 years, so jumping into a new car and trying it for the first time, and when you have that 4th win on the line is a pretty big deal, but it turned out pretty solid for you. So.
Yeah, it definitely paid off, but, you know, not everybody's out there wanting the crown, and, you know, I knew I trusted in the Can-Am and in that R, and, you know, I knew we could get it to the finish line in first.
Yeah, for sure.
Bella, do you think there's more pressure if you were in a position like him going for a 4-peat, or do you think it's like just like, okay, I'm just going to go do my thing?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's different for everyone. For me, it's more pressure for sure, but.
Well, I've talked to Kyle a bunch, and I know Kyle actually really thrives under the pressure. Was it pretty, I don't know, like, how did you deal with all of that, Kyle? I know Bella is a pretty big proponent of understanding how people deal with their emotions and how they adjust for race environments. How do you?
So it definitely was this year. Like, I usually have time to, like, prepare for the other races. I had no time. Like, literally all my time was spent on the R and trying to win that 4,900 race. Like, I totally neglected the 4,400 race. I didn't pre-run lap 3 of 4,400 one time. I didn't even get in my 4,400 car to drive it until I drove it up to qualifying. You know, so it's like, and I didn't see Terry, my co-pilot. He didn't get in the car until, you know, until the day of the race. Like, it was, you know, we spent all our efforts on that R and trying to win 4,900.
Yeah.
That's a lot of focus, though, especially like you said, because he was out there for so long.
Right. Yeah. There was other stuff to focus on, so, I mean, I'm glad that your 4,900 race went well, but, I mean, I think we got a lot to talk about with the 4,400 race, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, actually, before we talk about the 4,400 race, did you have any standout moments of the whole couple weeks while we were out there that were, I don't want to say not in the 4,400 race, but that were minus? Because, dude, that race, we could talk about that for years.
Yeah.
So, like, did you have any standout moments that you think were personally good? I don't know.
Like in the UTV race?
I just think over the whole weeks that you were out there, because there was a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, definitely a lot went on. It was mainly, man, we just put in our work and we just kept driving and testing that R and figuring out just little problems that, you know, that could take us out of the race, and we would just fix all of them. So it's not like we knew every little bug before we got out there. I mean, the R is definitely a superior machine, and, you know, the issues that it had were very minor, but, you know, when it comes to winning KOH, you can have no issues.
That's a really good point to bring up. Yeah. And so did the race end up going pretty smooth for the 4,900 stuff?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, we had we had 2 flat tires, but, you know, that was self-inflicted. I did that to myself, and, you know, we got out and changed the one, and then I ended up getting another flat, and I knew we could run it to the end. We had a tire spine in there, and I knew we could run it to the end, and yeah, it was totally gone by the end of the race, but I figured by the time we stopped and got it changed, and I wanted to get to outer limits and spooners really before the rain started coming down hard, so that played into it too. The weather definitely played into me not stopping and getting a tire.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the weather out there.
Oh, dude, it was slippery for all those things. Were the rocks just super slick if you had to go through them after rain?
I felt really bad for some of the guys that had to do any of the off-camber trails after it rained. I can only imagine how bad they were.
Dude, the timing on that was like impeccable. Hey, did you see the comment that just came in for Kyle? Somebody said, "Can we just talk about hunting?"
Can we just talk about hunting?
I could talk about hunting for hours.
Didn't you have some questions about hunting?
I did. Before I got onto the show, I was talking to my dad, like, oh, we're going to interview Kyle, and the first thing he brought up was, oh, hunting. Yeah, hunting. You should ask him about that.
Yeah, a lot of
what
people want to know
species
my
does he
hunting
hunt?
secrets.
What deer? Mule or whitetail? I was
Whitetail.
like, oh, gosh.
There you go.
Yeah,
Whitetail.
I'll let him know.
Have you already scheduled your next hunting trip?
Oh, I nonstop am thinking about hunting. So like right when I got home, like I'm going to start doing some shed hunting, the antlers of the deer fall off or whatever. So we'll go around and look for their antlers and see which ones made it through the year and then put a plan together for next season.
Dude, that's so
got a whole process.
Does your dad like hunting, Bella?
Oh, he loves it. You guys get along very well.
You probably missed hunting while you were spending all your time out in the Johnson Valley Desert. Dude, all right, so let's try to unpack some of this 4,400 race because I think all of us were on our seats. I want to first, thank the KOH guys for putting on such a great broadcast. It was really, really cool to be able to follow along and to watch you guys during that whole event and being able to see, I guess you call it the storylines, and everything happened up to the way that you crossed the finish line. Some of it was given to you by other people breaking. Some of it was just flat out just killing it. Some
talent.
of it was, just straight talent. And some of it was also taken away from you too. Like there wasn't anything that was left on the table. Like it was just an insane event. So give us your debrief or background on what it felt like from the driver's seat.
Yeah, man, really from the driver's seat, like I said, I didn't put any work into that race. And that's usually not like me to like not put in my homework and my time. But like I said, we were so focused and like really from when the sun came up to the sun went down and afterwards, we were just focused on that R, like making sure that thing finished and we won the 4,900 race. Like, so I didn't get to pre-run any lap 3 trails for 4,400. Like I totally neglected 4,400 and, I definitely won't do that again. But yeah, so we just didn't know the trails, there's no, no excuses, but, in 4,900, we missed that uptown trail also, which was, a 3-minute penalty. And people think that was like some rock trail. It wasn't. It was literally just like 150 yards of a trail that Dave put in off the main trail. And we didn't even know we were missing it because like the line was right next to it. And it was actually longer to stay on the main trail. Shoot, we didn't even know we were off the trail. And then I missed, and it was only, I guess it was 21 seconds faster to stay on the main trail like we did. And that's why we got a 3-minute and 30-minute penalty, or 3-minute and 30-second penalties, because it was 21 seconds. The advantage to take the trail that we took was 21 seconds. So, and it's not like it was a hard rock trail. Like you would never even need to go into low gear. It was just a wash. Like there was nothing in it. So, a lot of people were thinking we took it for an advantage. There was no advantage. Like I would definitely rather have my 3 minutes and 30 seconds back.
Yeah.
It was just, we didn't know. And in the 4,400 race after the first lap, when we missed it, because we'd have to do it again on lap 3, they said they were going to disqualify me if we missed that trail. And we didn't know where the freaking trail was. And they told us the mile marker. So literally Terry's watching the mile markers as we're doing lap 3, and we missed it again. And I ended up like stopping and turning down into the trail just to get it. So we didn't go backwards on the trail, but we missed the entrance, turned down, to end up driving up it. But we had no idea where this trail was. It's not like we were trying to miss this trail. I mean, like I said, I'd rather have my 3 minutes and 30 seconds back. But
yeah, and you don't really even need, Terry knows that place like the back of his hand. So like if anybody was going to find it, it would have been him anyway. So I could totally see the
Yeah, and it was like a trail like you wouldn't even think to do. Like literally the line was right next to it. The main trail, Dave just took us off the main trail at a corner. So when your GPS, when you're going around this corner, it looks like you're staying on the main trail, but Dave has it going off, and like you couldn't see another trail going off. So that's why most of us all missed it. I think like a third of the UTVs missed it, and like half of the 4,400s missed it. Like
when we were going through the logs, they call it penalty logs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was just littered with people, and I was like, oh, so it was like a trick trail kind of thing.
wasn't like something like we tried to do to make an advantage or anything. Now, in the 4,400 where I got the 49-minute penalty people think we missed the whole trail there too. We didn't. Like, USAC wasn't even going to penalize me because I was within the rules. Like, we never went more than 50 foot off the line. We hit the VCP. We just went around the rock pinch, which, in the driver's meeting, this is my fault too, Dave said all the bypasses were open. So I was under the impression that all the bypasses were open. Well, apparently after the driver's meeting was over, there was a question asked about a rock pinch and check me out. And Dave said, you have to stay between the rocks. And, this is my fault. I should have been closer and paid attention, but I didn't. So I literally thought all the rocks were open. Plus, I didn't even know where this rock pinch was. I didn't even know we were in Check Me Out. Like, I didn't do any Rock 3 trails. So it's not like I was trying to cheat or do anything. I drove up there, and the main trail was to go around the thing. And like I said, I didn't even know it was that rock pinch. Yeah. So once after the race, they told me, I'm like, okay, and then they showed me, the day's video where he said, and they're like, USAC wasn't going to file anything against me because I was within the rules. But the only way for them to file a penalty was if somebody else filed a red card. And then the red card, then they could go back to Dave's meeting and say, well, Dave said to stay in between it, even though it's not in the actual rules of Hammer King. Yeah. I was still within all the rules of Hammer King besides what Dave said. So
one of the things that I think we should talk to Bella about here is because, like, a lot of the younger kids, when they hear stuff like this, they don't really grasp the accountability portion of it. And I want to make a big point of this, Bella, is that him as a racer he's being very accountable for his mistakes, right? Like, this is a massive thing that anybody can learn about professional racing here. Is Kyle is taking accountability for the things that he thinks that he is at fault for so that he can fix them going forward. Anybody can learn from this, whether it's racing or whatever. This is a really, really good personality trait to have because he's not blaming it on anybody else. He didn't say Dave was wrong. He didn't say anything like that. He's making sure that no matter what happens, he's just going to do better next year for himself and for all of his sponsors.
Yeah, for sure. Not only that, but it makes you a better driver, too, if you're open-minded to learning more and taking accountability for your mistakes.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that. And everybody makes mistakes. And, like I said, I just didn't know. So after the race, when they said that, I was going to have a penalty, and they showed me what happened. And, I'm like, yeah, I did. I went around that rock pinch and, they showed me the video where Dave said you had to stay in between it. I'm like, yeah, I was wrong. I'm like, whatever penalty you'll give me, I will take it. And so the reason I got such a huge penalty was one of the guys flipped in there. So it's 10 times the amount of gain, which was usually the top guys that made it through. So what they do is they take like the 5 guys that are around you. So it was like Curry and, whatever the other top guys were around me. They took the average of those guys going through and then they times it by 10. Most of them made it through within a minute or two. So like it should have been like 1 or 2 minutes times 10. But what happened was a guy flipped in there and was there for 24 minutes.
That
one of the top guys.
Was that where Hammel flipped? Oh, okay. Yeah, because he was stuck there for a while.
Yeah, 24 minutes. So they took his time and added it into the overall time, and it ended up being like 4 minutes and some times 10. Gotcha. So that stung a little bit.
I get it, but that's a kick in the nuts.
That's the way I guess the rule states, and it is what it is. They needed 30 minutes to get me off the podium, and that 49-minute penalty, was enough. But you know what? I didn't want a podium anyway. Like, I didn't put in the work for this race. Like, I want to win, and I don't want to battle. Like, I don't want to just win because these dudes are breaking. I want to go out there. I didn't have my car set up right. Like, we were not on pace to win that race. Like, if I win that race next year, I want it to be because we won. We deserved it. Like, we battled with the best and we won. Not because all the top guys broke.
Well, dude, I get it, but like, as from a bystander just watching, I tell you, man, it looked like you guys were working your ass off to get up there. There was the competition that you had was no slouches. Like, those guys did have incidents and they had stuff happen to them, but that was their own doing as well. We're talking about accountability here, right? Like, all those racers would say the same thing. Like, damn it, I gave it up because I did this. Like Curry would say the same thing. Like, all of these different things. And for us, as an excitement thing, like watching the race, there was a very, very big crowd that was going, no effing way. Like Kyle could actually do this. Because there was a lot of times when we were like, I don't know. The big trucks got him. The big truck. And then all of a sudden it just starts creeping in. And then we're like, wait a second. Like Kyle's got it. So like seeing that from the outside perspective is different than yours. I'd like to know, like, when did it dawn on you and Terry that you were like actually had a chance?
When we came through pit 2 on lap 3 and Curry was in there. And right before that, we just passed one of the Gomez's flipped over on Upper Big Johnson. And I'm like, and my guy said, Curry's in the pit and he's not coming out. He's like, you guys keep going. You're winning this thing, and by then my front shocks were completely blown, and Healy ends up catching us coming down outer limits, and he honks, and I just pull over. Like, I wasn't trying to get in his way or anything. And I'm like, well, Healy just won this race. And we end up coming to the top of the hill. My shock blows. We're heading back to town, and there's Healy, like, off to the side of the track. I'm like, oh my God, like, we're physically leading this race. Like, I didn't know what was happening behind me, but like, like, we need to get this thing to the finish line. Like, it's like, and that's when I knew, like, when we passed Lauren and my shocks, up past my head, and I'm like, Resolution is going to be pretty freaking tough. Like, we just can't throw it away. Like, we're definitely doing something pretty cool. And, I was just happy to be back to Hammertown once we got down Resolution. Like, I was just so happy to be back. Like, like I said, we missed, that one rock pinch. I mean, we still did 236 miles of the nastiest rocks like God put on this earth. And, no one can take that away from me and Terry. But, like I said, when I win this race, like, I want it to be because we were the best.
Yeah. Dude, that's exactly spoken like a true racer. Right
Oh,
there.
yeah. It's definitely the whole, like, mindset change during the middle of the race that, like, props to you for being able to do that, because not a lot of people know how to do that.
Maybe we should ask Kyle, too, like, what it was like listening to Terry, too, because Terry was part of the conversation, and he was in the car, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so anytime that I'm in the car with Terry, like, I just have way more confidence, especially when we get to the rocks. Like, I know that I can do whatever I want in the rocks, because if I mess up, Terry can get me out of it. Like, the guy's just so good outside the car. Like, he makes me a better driver when we're in the rocks, for sure. Like, there's nothing I can't do.
Well, JP actually just mentioned it right now too, Bella. What did he say?
He said, how about that
Shearer and Cade
pass? Kyle squeezed through like a mouse.
Yeah, man, and that's a place of outer limits you would never even think of going down. Like, I've looked at that for years and like, oh, that's not possible. But when Terry was out of the car and they were both parked there, it didn't even cross my mind. Terry's like, you'll fit right through there. And it never, nothing in my mind said that's not possible.
Yeah.
That's some serious confidence in your co-dog or your winch man, as they call him sometimes. Yep. That's super cool to see, though. Like, having him over there, you're just like, yeah, we got it. Let's go. Yeah.
It's really definitely a confidence booster having him over there, especially in the rocks.
Yeah. All right, Bill, we got 7 minutes. Is there certain specific things that you want to talk about, like maybe mindset stuff, to get information from Kyle so that you can pass it on to some of the younger generation?
Yeah, for sure. I did have one question. Sometimes we can lose motivation even with the sport that we love the most, like racing. What do you do to regain your strength after a race if it didn't go as the way you planned it? Kind of like this one.
Well, to tell you the truth, I gain way more from my losses than I would, or than I do any win. Like, when I lose, or like, when you're down on yourself and you're driving home and you're like, man, I wouldn't have done this, or I wouldn't have done this, it makes you think, and like, well, then what are you going to do to change that for next race? Like, Don't let it happen twice. Like, if it happens once, shame on you. Shame on it. Happens twice, shame on you. Like, just don't let your mistakes keep happening. And I see a lot of racers do that. They have the same mistake over and over again. It's like, you need to, go back to the drawing board, and whether it's different parts you need, or, if you got to spend more time studying or whatever needs to happen, it's just, you can't give up on it. And, to win races, like, everything has to go as planned. Like you can't have one little issue. So, you know, if you keep having these little issues, like even though they're not big issues, it'll take you out of races. And, you know, I think just keep pushing and, you know, don't let it get you down, because not everybody can win. There's only one winner and everybody wants that spot. So what are you going to do different than that person to get it?
Yeah. So remember when we talked about progress, Bella, and always moving forward? That's exactly what he's talking about there, because he's not thinking about the past. He's thinking about fixing the mistakes and moving forward.
Right.
That's pretty cool, man. I think that's some really good advice, especially for the youngsters out there. Hey, what did you guys eat when you were on the lake bed? Because there wasn't like all that. I ate tacos the whole time, which was good, but still, I wish that I had something else.
There's taco stands there. Some of them are really good. But no, we had Brian Fulcher, the guy that you know, runs the Team Momentum that I'm on. He is like an amazing chef, and he had us dinner every night. I mean, we ate freaking steaks and pork chops, and dinner was not something that we, you know, ate just macaroni and cheese and hamburgers. Yeah. Like we had really good food. He definitely took care of us out there. But that's huge too. Just being someone feeding you out there is huge.
Yep.
Absolutely. Dude, especially because, you are so focused. Like stuff can fall aside, or you can miss dinner, miss lunch, whatever it is. Hey, I wanted to say thanks to Blake too for supplying all those photos. He just chimed in too and said that, and then somebody else said La Bufadora. Yeah, La Bufadora too. Man, I am so impressed, Kyle. I left KOH thinking to myself that this year, even though your goal was not achieved, it was a mark in, history sounds so dramatic, right? I feel like I'm on the Discovery Channel when I say it, but like it really, like, it was a mark in the books to be able to say the sport is changing because of the professionalism of drivers and the level of the vehicles that they can drive now. And I think that you, as the driver that achieved that, can understand what I'm saying with those words.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys that are fast, you know, out there. A lot of people are fast. It's just not a whole lot of people are good because they break. I mean, a lot of people can go fast, qualify good, do all this stuff, but, you know, to finish a race and keep your car together and know the limits of your machine, you know, that's a different story. But these machines now are more capable than they used to be. So it's definitely changing, like you said.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be like, no matter what, people get upset, right? They don't like change. They don't like progress, all this stuff. To me, that is 110% the best part about off-road racing, is that we can see all this shit happen right in front of us, and we can look at all of the different changes. I don't know if you agree, Belle, but that is so exciting for me.
Yeah, JP Perez said the golf cart game is on the rise because of Kyle.
It's because of a lot of people, but we got Kyle on the show, so he did a great job at KOH. Man, hey, you got anything else you want to say? We only got a couple minutes left.
No, not really. I just, you know, it's still kind of crazy to me, you know, all the people that were there, and even like people that didn't know like what my penalties really were, like still standing behind me, like, and people literally saying that I missed all these trails and all these VCPs and stuff. Like, I don't even think I missed any VCPs. Like, it was just, I just missed that Uptown trail, which wasn't even really a trail, but, you know, I still had people backing me even though they didn't know. Like,
it's because you're doing it the right way, man. Like, you're accountable. That means you're honest. That means you're forthcoming. Like, all of that stuff makes a massive difference. And that means that when you do win the race, it's going to mean that much more to all those fans that are sticking behind you.
Well, thanks to all them and all you guys for watching, and, you know, everybody that, you know, believes that a golf cart can do this.
Can do it. Hey, so on the way home, how many times did you kick yourself and be like, oh, I could have done better there. I could have done better there. Because it was a long drive home.
Never, not once.
No,
because I didn't put in the work, man. I'm a man of putting in the work, and I didn't deserve to win that race.
Yeah.
See?
Well,
there you go.
What about next year? What are your plans for next year?
Oh, it's already started. It has already begun.
You know what he's doing, right? If you ever ask him again, he's going to say, I'm there to win.
I'm there to win.
Hey, thanks for joining us, dude. We really appreciate it. Do you want to thank anybody else while you're here?
Yeah, and just thanks, Can-Am, my whole team. I mean, it takes a whole freaking crew to get through KOH. You know, there's a lot of mixed feelings and opinions and all kinds of stuff that goes on out there, between mechanics and, just everybody. There's just so much that goes on, and it takes a whole team and, a whole team to be strong and stick together. So thanks
Cool,
to
dude.
them.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, dude.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you at the
Thank
races
you
next time.
guys. Yep.
Right.
See you later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Belle, did your machine just beep or no?
Yep, that was me.
do you need to take a break, or are you good?
No, we're good.
Dude, the amount to unpack there was like just so cool. And
Crazy.
one of the main things that I like, and I said it while we were talking to Kyle, was the accountability portion of it. When you're accountable for anything that you do, be accountable for the things that you eat that are healthy or not healthy for you. If you're accountable for those things, that means that you can always make it better.
True.
And that's why he's a human being that excels at whether it's hunting, whether it's racing, whether it's business, because of that personality trait. So I strongly recommend that anybody that was listening and unpacking all that information sticks to those morals too.
Yeah, I think it also helps build a lot of respect from outside people too, because when someone looks at someone like, oh, you can take accountability for your actions or your mistakes, you gain a lot of respect from a lot of different people.
Yeah, 100%. All right, who's next?
We got Chris Polvoorde on.
All right, you want to talk to Chris? Let's see. Did he already actually request us here? Let's see. Oh no, let's see if we can get Chris on here.
Yeah, so Chris Polvoorde is 23 years old from Hemet, California, and recently just took his first trophy truck win at the King of Hammers Desert Challenge.
Dude, he was ripping.
Yeah, absolutely ripping.
And we got to see. There is he on here? Not yet. We got to see him live too, because he had the Starstream kit.
Oh.
So we got to see him live and actually kicking butt out there. It was super cool to be able to see that.
Yeah.
You guys see me?
No, we can't see you. We can only hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, shoot. Technology.
Are you good? Did I invite you wrong, or?
No, it's showing me.
Will you jump off and then jump back on?
Yeah, 1 sec.
Okay, cool. We can hear him. We just can't see him.
Technology.
Huh? Could you see him, Zach? Oh, you could? We just couldn't see him on our end? I wonder if something was wrong with the app. I hope we don't have to restart this thing.
Everybody else I can see him. I can see him.
Yeah, everybody else says they can see him. So I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. Maybe our app is glitching out or something. I don't see Chris even requesting to join on our end. There he is. All right, let's see if this bad boy works now. Fingers crossed that Instagram works. If we can't see him, maybe we should just talk to him. What do you think?
Yeah.
If everybody else can.
Yeah.
So, Chris, are you there?
On it.
Still nothing, man. What the heck is going on with Instagram right now? All right, yeah. So Christopher's been racing off-road trucks for a long time. It's pretty cool to see him actually step up to the top level and take home a win, right? Because he beat some really good guys out there. Let's try it again.
No, for sure. I think he had a really good battle.
Well, yeah, he really was battling. Christopher Polvoorde joined. Okay, there he is.
Me now?
Oh, what's up?
What up? Sorry, I apparently can't use technology.
I think you do pretty good with technology. We were just telling people we got to watch you with the Starstream kit. We got to see you just ripping out there. That was pretty rad to be inside the truck with you and watching as you take home a victory.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was kind of cool to bring people along, show them. There's always a little bit of chaos out there, and you're just talking. You're like, dude, you should have seen it now. But thanks to Mr. Man George, we're seeing it.
It was really cool to see, but well, actually, I'll let you take over, Belle. You already have a bunch of stuff to talk about.
I definitely do want to start with a KOH recap because what you accomplished these last few weeks was pretty cool. So I know you just had your first win in your four-wheel drive Mason. Give us a quick little rundown on the whole race, beginning to end.
Yeah. So just got a Mason all-wheel drive, brand new to me. Brand new.
Yeah.
But yeah, first trophy truck race in my own trophy truck. Went out, qualified first, and then on race day, I knew I just had to kind of cruise and stay ahead of them and go. The first lap, about halfway through, was going super smooth. Came through the remote pit and was just like, okay, yeah, this is perfect. Got some time splits, and then, of course, I got myself a flat, which made it a little interesting. Tim Herbst got by me, and so then it made it a little interesting. Kind of the chase was on. I chased down Tim, and then we were able to pass him in the pits. We got right to his bumper. My crew guys had on. I was like, okay, no mistakes, just cruise and use the dust to your advantage. So I kind of just cruised there, and the second lap, the course, I mean, the trophy trucks or the T1s were just destroying it. So it was fun though. It was really cool, and I was just happy for my team and I. It was like there was a lot of pressure that we were going to win because we're in the all-wheel drive, and so it's like if I screw this up, I'm going to be a little bummed.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a good solid run.
Yeah, no. I mean, for a brand new truck, I was very happy. My guys had a very long week prior. Like we only had a little tiny bit of test time, and we had a lot of fun little issues we were chasing. So,
And how many hours did you have on that motor?
Oof, I don't know. Only a couple. We had about 100 miles, about 2 half days, which 100 miles in like a trophy truck just like zooms by. So,
That's like
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like super. Overall, we were a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Especially the week prior, we had a lot of little things we were chasing. My guys drove back and forth to Hemet, I think like 4 or 5 times the week of the race. It got there right before qualifying and went out. So, had to keep it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I find it very inspiring how you managed to conquer and balance so many different things in your life. What are your racing plans for the future?
For me, I'm just gonna start chasing these trophy truck guys. It's been kind of a life goal of mine. In off road, the trophy trucks are the big boys. So I never thought I'd be here. So now it's time to you really take advantage of what I've been. I've been very fortunate to be in this position. So now it's kind of just head down and mainly racing score down south in Mexico. That's where the top teams are playing. But would like to start racing the States some more. But for me, just content creation and racing and score is my future.
Yeah, you just went shock testing, right? Not too long ago for score.
Yeah. No. So literally, I got home from Hammers on Sunday at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon and left at 4 in the morning to go to San Felipe. Spent 2 full days down there, and now I'm back in California for a day, and then going back to Utah. So yeah, the prep is on.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you talk about racing in the States and racing in Baja, like what kind of differences are you guys like thinking through and processing as a team to prep for that race? Because obviously you just came through one of the hardest, biggest, US based races, and there's a few others out there on the schedule. But when you talk about prep and barely making it to the race with your truck, and I mean barely making it in the States is one thing, but barely making it in Baja is a whole different ball of wax. Like how do you guys approach that?
Yeah, no, the logistics and the planning for Baja is like jumping into racing down there. I was like, all right, yeah, this should be fun, easy. It is a whole nother ball game. You're down south, very hard to get resources. You got to cross borders. You got to, and just so it's a lot more planning, and that's why we dove into King of the Hammers with our first race. We knew we could have a couple stumbles, but now going down there, we're knowing we have to have our A game on. And I think just the big difference is, the terrain, we're seeing a lot more. A lot of times when we're racing in the States, we see kind of a similar terrain throughout the whole race. Down in Mexico, we're on the beaches, then we're in the desert, then we're in the mountains. And they have us, I mean, last year, San Felipe, they had us rock crawling, which we never thought we'd be doing in trophy trucks. So yeah, that, and then I think just the team effort. This pit strategy down there is a lot different. We're allowed to pit anywhere, which then for me, being a competitive person, yeah, I could just have one pit set up, but I want to have 15 pits set up just in case. So that's it's like they open it up, so it allows for a lot more
opportunity.
Yeah, a lot more opportunities, which sometimes I'm like, man, state racing sounds so nice.
Yeah.
But stretching your team out across the Baja race is a whole different, like, it not only costs more, but just you don't have that many specialized people to spread out across across the country for a race program, right? Like, you got to really get selective and make some smart decisions there.
Yep. No, you have to learn your guys. And I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of really good team members, volunteers, and, I have my two lead guys who are really my A guys who know the race truck. So it's where do we put them strategically? And that's where it comes down to pre-running and then just learning the terrain and spending a lot of time down there. That's what I literally spend 3 months a year in Mexico now, the past couple of years, just trying to catch up to these guys like Bryce and Luke, because they've been spending their whole lives down there.
Right. You just mentioned how, you were going to be in California for one day and then going back to Utah. I know you recently made a move to Utah. How is that different with, like, practicing and, rearranging your whole schedule to be able to fit in racing compared to living in Hemet?
Not very smart. In all reality. In Hemet, if I need something, I'm down at Car Tech or Off-Road Warehouse within minutes. Now being in Utah, a lot more planning. And yeah, just testing and stuff. That's, I know from Hemet, I was like, where do we want to go? Within an hour, 2 hours, we have 4 different locations. Now being in Utah, we don't know anything. We tested down in Jean and with the all-wheel drive for the first time, and I was lost the whole time pretty much. So just learning that. But yeah, it's a huge stretch. It's 10 hours from door to door from our existing shop, which we're half in right now, and our new shop. So yeah, it's been a fun one, but I'm excited. My new shop's almost done, and that should be a lot more helpful.
Yeah, for sure. That is a big difference.
When you guys talk about testing and taking these trucks out into the desert and trying to get some seat time and trying to put some knowledge, into the brain bucket for how the car's going to handle and do all of that, does the mentality when you have to be more strategic and purposeful with what you're doing on your testing, like instead of just going out on a weekend and ripping out in the desert, like how do you approach testing differently when you have to do it in such a strategic way?
Yeah, a lot more planning. Like you wouldn't think just for one day or something, we'd be having meeting after meeting, just trying to get, we go there with a plan. Usually, several different components we're going to focus on and, go with a baseline and then kind of just, what do we want to accomplish out of this, whether it be shocks, drivetrain, or just driver. Right now with me jumping into the all-wheel drive, half the time I'm in there just going, what's going on? I pull into the thing and they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, can I go do another lap? So, but yeah, definitely a lot more just strategy and not just winging it anymore. When we go testing, usually it's, 5, 6, sometimes 10 people. So definitely having a game plan and just staying focused. And the trophy trucks, the per mile to run is ridiculous. So you got to make sure every mile kind of counts when you're trying to run a team kind of on a budget.
Yeah, for sure. You said even going and testing with sometimes 5, 10 people. Does that really help you see like different perspectives for like shock tuning or just, things that you didn't realize could work better this way or that way?
Oh yeah, no, that's I think one thing I've learned is just being a sponge in racing, and if someone wants to offer something, definitely take advantage of it, even if you already know the answer. I love to bring people out testing and just see what their thoughts are and whether I use it or if I just, I already knew that but whatever. You can't have that mentality, especially with such a new truck. If someone has input, I'm in to listen because every day is a new challenge and just trying to figure out how to go faster because these top teams are just, it's ridiculous how fast and precise they are, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
When you made the conversion over to all-wheel drive, what was like the first takeaway that really changed your perspective on how to drive these things differently than the two-wheel trucks?
You really got to be a lot more patient, which a lot of people are like, you're going a lot faster, but the patience going in, they're a lot heavier. They don't really like to be leaning on the ruts and stuff. So really just calming myself down.
at Hammers this year, the commentators were talking about some of the drivers were saying, some of the pit crews were saying, we're driving a lot faster than we thought we were going to. And they had to actually like rein things back a little bit just to save the truck and the team for the extended amount of the race because they got out there, the rain had come in, got everything cleaned up, dust was down, and guys were going way faster than they thought they were going to. Was that something you experienced?
Yeah, no, the overall speed, I was guessing like 55 to 60, and I know we were well over that. Yeah, it was definitely fast. It was just like with all the rocks out there, when you start just going faster and faster and faster, all of a sudden you got to realize, hey, the truck's doing it, but when do I hit my limit and I start just hitting rocks and stuff? So I definitely experienced that. And with the new trucks, it's crazy how fast everything's getting. It's kind of scary to process in your mind.
Yeah, for sure. Even just trying to keep that stamina up through the whole thing because me personally racing a UTV probably couldn't even compare to a trophy truck and how like draining it could get after a while.
Yeah, it's a little different. But I mean the UTVs are definitely nothing to. You guys are out there, giving it, and you guys are experiencing a lot more of the bumps. We're cheating. I always say they're definitely. I mean, they look a lot smoother, and to some points they are, but at the same time they're pretty violent. And the only advantage with the trophy truck is like it's over quicker.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But yeah, I heard from somebody that you have your pilot's license. And I was really, really curious on why and what that encouraged.
I love to fly. Growing up, both my parents were pilots, but now neither of them fly really. And so I grew up in small planes, and then it's kind of my obsession. Like I have racing, and that's kind of like my job, I guess you could say. But the flying is my obsession. That's all I watch on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
So. And with my lifestyle, with racing and stuff, normally I'm flying around. I use it down in Mexico a ton, for jumping back and forth across the border. And then, yeah, I always claim it's for work and stuff, but it's realistically
Are you
more.
smuggling like axles and like stuff across the border with your plane and like dropping them out the window?
Of course not. Of course not. No,
No.
Of course not. No. Yeah, it's a great tool. I pile a lot of stuff in there. Probably more than I should sometimes, but yeah, no, flying's cool. I recommend it. It's another terrible habit. Yeah, if you guys ever want to fly, I'm always looking for an excuse to fly.
Well, then I know who to call. Yeah. So, do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, you talk about flying, right? Like that takes a lot of very specific focus and knowing what you're doing and being very attentive to details and understanding what all of the data is doing, right? Like your cockpit's giving you a lot of data. In the trophy trucks, like is it similar? Like you have a lot of data coming at you, or is it just balls to the wall, go as fast as you can and hope that you come out the other end?
No, I think it definitely is very relatable, and I think they both help each other a ton because in the trophy truck now with all the Motex and stuff, it's just so much more data that we can, and like live stuff that we're able to look at and use to our advantage. It's pretty cool. I mean, we have 1,400 data points on our new trophy truck. That's how many pieces that it's picking up essentially at every time it started. We're looking at 1,400 different things. So you being able to put that onto a screen that then I can look at, and my co-rider Mike Kim, and we can process, has been super awesome. And no, I think they definitely they teach you both of them teach you to be calm and kind of in chaotic moments, even when it's all going crazy. There's always an answer and a solution, and so just going down that checklist.
So the comment section's asking if you're flying over the racetrack to get a different perspective and a one up on the competition.
I cannot, I
cannot confirm or deny.
I cannot confirm or deny, but I will say in Mexico, it's one of those things, having a little birdie in the sky. You see them everywhere. There's people pre-running it with them all the time and stuff. So I've learned to hide from them really well when I'm out on my lines and I hear a helicopter. That's like your worst nightmare. You're out sneaking a line because down in Mexico, we're able to kind of sneak, make some shortcuts. When you're on a shortcut and you hear a helicopter that's pre-running, you're running to hide in the bushes.
Well, now I know that for tips this year when we go down to Baja. So, but yeah, is there anyone you'd like to thank? Friends, family, pit crew, sponsors that helped you, have so much success these last few weeks?
Yeah, everyone. I think the biggest hats off to my team though. It's been a long couple weeks on the road and working, but all my sponsors, big hats off to Optima Batteries and Ford, Performance, Steal It. Yeah, there's so many that really make this happen. It's been a dream come true to race this trophy truck. So, and it's really not possible without them and my whole family and everyone who supports me and people like you guys who let me come up here and rant and show, there's more to racing.
And shout out to the heli pilots out getting shots of you guys because you were on the TV for a solid minute there at the end, and you were ripping hard, and they were getting the shots for you.
Oh, the heli pilots this year were nuts. I mean, at one point we were doing like 115 across up the military base, and all of a sudden I looked over to my right, and the helicopter was literally the same height as
like leaving.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's up, man? Dude, like, it's nuts.
We just gotta get them to start dropping tacos into the truck for you.
I 100% be, and I'm always hungry.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and just getting to know you, the driver, and the inner perspective. So
yeah, thanks for having me, and it's awesome what you're doing. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Later, Christopher. Thanks, Zach.
You guys.
Chris.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Zach got to fill in for me.
I know.
All right. Who's next, man?
Who is next is Saydie Gray. So I'm really excited for this one.
Is she already trying to get on here? No, not yet. We'll wait for her to come on. And it's like every single person has such a different story, don't you think? Like when they talk about their racing or how many people helped or like all of these different things. I love hearing it so much.
It's all crazy different. Just seeing how everybody else kind of does their thing.
All right, Saydie, just request to join real quick, and then we'll get you on. I don't want to send the request from this side because it didn't work last time with Christopher. Oh, there you go. Okay, so
Saydie Gray is 16 years old from Barstow, California. She's been in the racing industry for a while now, but started her career when she was just 13.
Dude, 13? That's so young. Hi, Saydie.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are pretty good.
Yeah, awesome. Talking about all this racing.
I know.
We both know that you love racing. So, like, you've probably even been watching the show, hearing everybody talk about it. It's just exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely. I love every bit of it.
Yeah, for sure. So I not too long ago, I know I DM'd you about all of this, but you mentioned to me that Nora was one of your bigger events that you co-drove in. So I want to kind of mention that. Like, how was that experience?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Luckily, my dad had ties with Sarah, and we got connected, and it was like a spur of the moment thing. It was crazy, and when we like going out throughout the racing, I was like, okay, like this is so much fun. Like racing is usually pretty like stressful, and it wasn't stressful really at all. It was, I mean, you were in the moment for sure, but it was such a fun experience, and the views and like as the days went on, like everything just got better and better. It was crazy. And as soon as like we finished, I was like, she was like, yeah, I think we won. And I was like, no way. Like it was that, like the whole experience. I don't know. It was just insane.
Yeah, it's almost surreal. Like you almost like feel like because you're doing it and you get so used to like doing racing, and Nora is a multi-day event. Like you're kind of in your zone, right? And then like all of a sudden everything stops, and then like the adrenaline kind of slows down, the fast pace kind of slows down, and you're like,
yes.
Oh wow, like okay, I get to get back to real life. But then you figure out like you won, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy. Oh my gosh, I remember every single day after we would finish, I would be like, we'd get back to camp and stuff, and I'd be like, we're in like this beautiful place. Like usually after a race, like you get to wind down, but then it like you wind down for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, we gotta back to race mode. Okay, I gotta race tomorrow. I gotta be prepared. I gotta wake up. I gotta, it's like a crazy cycle that you go through there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think we should give a little background on Saydie though too, because when she said Sarah, she just didn't say her last name. So Sarah Price is who she drove with, who is an accomplished racer herself, and her dad has I mean, he's got so many championships and stuff, right? Like Jeremy Gray has been a co-dog for God knows how many people, but he's also a racer in himself. So like they've got real racing in their blood.
Lots of experience for sure.
Yes, absolutely. My dad, he's accomplished so much in this time that he's been here, and especially my whole life just grew up in like learning from him and all the people that he's raced with. It's just been crazy. I mean, so much that he's accomplished and so much he's taught me, and I'm so grateful for it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but don't forget about Mom, dude. She's
No.
like holding
Mom,
everybody together over here.
Mom is the one that actually keeps it all together.
Yeah.
My dad's just the one that teaches me how to taught me like how to drive in the desert. Mom taught me how to drive on the road. Dad wasn't patient enough for that.
Really?
Dads usually aren't.
No, don't do it that way. I'm gonna let your mom teach you. I can't do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So being an off-road racer, I know how much I rely on my co-driver, with like knowledge for the race car, the everything that's going on, the GPS, the track, but not only that, like the racer's personal health and like, yeah, I feel like a co-driver can tell like, hey, you need to drink water. Hey, you're getting tired. Pick your head up. But what do you kind of do to like prepare for that huge responsibility?
I think it seems a lot like there's so much to being a co-driver, but I think if you have a driver that you connect with and you guys both work well together, it's so much easier. Like you when you know that person, it's almost like second nature. Like, oh, I know that they need this, boom, boom. Like, it's so much easier. I mean, again, my dad taught me a lot of it. He's the one that's like always like was wiping people's shields and doing stuff for them that I was always like, what, like, why do you need to do that? Until I was in that position and I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, these people, like, preparing for that, it's not hard. It's especially when you're driving with somebody that's like, that you know.
You guys
it's like,
ever heard what the word intuitive, or you know what that word means?
kind of.
A little bit.
So intuitive is kind of like being like, I don't know, like you're almost like
In tune?
Yeah, well, in tune for sure. But it's also being like telling the future, or like you can kind of sense things that are going on around you. And it's very rare that people have that skill set these days because everybody is so reactive and they just like see something and then they react to it, like social media or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And so like what you and Saydie are talking about is being intuitive. So you kind of can forecast and you can see the future before it even happens, right? So when you're talking about that, like the co-driver for you, Bella, or like when Saydie said, like she can already know what's happening before it even happens. And that's the reason she's good at it, because she has to know where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
She has to know how the driver feels. She has
Yep.
to know what's happening with the car, like all of these crazy things. So that's a good quality to have. And you'll find that you use it a lot more than you think in your life.
I'm sure I will. That's actually really good advice. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Well, just think about it. It'd be like, instead of asking mom and dad, hey, where do you want to go eat? Be like, hey, I already know where you guys want to go eat. We're getting tacos.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I think that works for even like outside of the car too, like not just
Yep.
having a part inside of the car, but even outside.
Yep.
Like, this is my job in the pit. This is my job for food. This is my job for like everyone kind of plays their role or has their like little niche, their thing that they do
Yeah.
to contribute.
Definitely, especially in like high tense situations where you're trying to get a car fixed or something. Like those situations, you really have to have good communication and be in tune. Like, okay, I know I need to do this for this person, and okay, they could do that for me while I'm fixing this. It's just everything with racing. I think why I like it so much is because everybody, when you have a good team, everybody is so like in tune with each other,
Yeah.
and you communicate, and then after you guys all feel so like good about it.
Yeah.
You're like, okay,
Accomplished.
awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Have you ever had the adverse of that, where it was like just like all like a loose program and it was just all, crap everywhere all over the place? And you don't have to name names, but like it was just like something that was totally out of your comfort zone. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to learn from this and I'm never doing this again.
Definitely. We've had a couple situations like that, but man, you definitely learn from it. You definitely take like what you gain from those, like even if it's a bad situation, you always learn something, you always gain something, and then you look out for that in another team or other people, and you can be more aware. Like as soon as something happens like that, you're definitely more aware, like, okay, yeah, I didn't like that this person did that, so if this team does that, it's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
you know
Totally. Bella, have you ever heard somebody say it's better to know what you don't want than what you do want?
No.
Like, so if somebody like does you dirty or like, I don't know, I mean, it could even be something simple as like breaking up with a boyfriend or something. And then you learn from that and you say, I'm never doing that again because I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then it makes you change and it has a hard impact on you that you always go forward without having that in your life and you don't look back.
Yeah, for sure. I think even having like certain people in your pit that are like very motivated and truly love the sport makes a difference too, because
Absolutely.
people aren't going to put 100% effort if it's not 100% what they love.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Especially the pits. I mean, we've been in the pits, me and my mom, and of course other people with different teams that we've been with, and those people are the core people. Those people are the ones that when you're sitting there, you're having a tough day, and you're just like dead, or you're like, okay, like everything's going wrong. Those are the people that keep you going. Like, no, we got to finish. We got to do it. Come on, like the people that keep you motivated are definitely so important.
Yeah,
so important.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah, because you need those support mechanisms, especially in high stress situations like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you been in it, Bella? Like you and your support mechanisms, you come into the pits and you're like, oh my gosh, my race is toast. I just made a huge mistake. And they're like, no, Bella, take a deep breath, focus, let's go. And then they get you back on the horse and you're just like, you know what? They're right. I'm going to kill it now.
Yeah, that's even like Kyle was talking about that, having confidence, like because of your co-driver, or because, like I can't tell you the world of a difference it makes when I have my co-driver in versus when I'm alone in a car, because my confidence just goes straight up. Not even because he's telling me like, you're doing great, but also like, oh yeah, you can hit that. Oh yeah, like I don't know why you're letting off. You're totally fine. Like, yeah.
Definitely. I've been lucky enough to be with people that usually they're more of the type of people you say, oh, we got to slow down on that one. Not, you got it. Got it. It's either way, but I've definitely been with people where it's like, no, come on, keep going, you got it. And that confirmation, no, either or just helps so much, especially for the drivers. Definitely
reassuring. Like, okay, now I know next lap, I can do this, and it makes time go faster. And then next thing you know, you're in a good position because it's a teamwork.
Absolutely.
I have two questions for Saydie. I want to know, like, because you've been in the pits and then you've also been in the car. Do you have like a favorite moment of any of those, like that, like way outweighs the other one?
Okay, in a car was probably when I raced with my dad. That was definitely like me and him. We'd pull into the pits and we had people there that, even if it wasn't really that high tense of it, like situation, but we had people like the McFaydens and the best guy ever, Gilbert, in our pits, and they were just like, I was like stressed out, my hands were hurting, everything was going wrong in my head. My dad's sitting there trying to calm me down, and then as soon as I see all those people with a big grin on their face, that was just amazing. And then probably favorite moment as being in the pits was probably recently when I think when oh yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know if you can count that as I rode in a helicopter and got to chase the boys around. My dad just mentioned that.
Big heli girl.
That's crazy.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I think that was probably one of the top moments. Or when everybody was changing it flat and it was like so quick and we did it so fast, and like it was that feeling after, like that I mentioned before, where everybody was just like pumped on the situation and we were like, oh my gosh, we got them out so fast, that was crazy. And everybody, and then of course the guys are like, yeah, good pit, guys, and we're like, okay, yeah, we got that confirmation. That type of stuff is just the best.
She just explained it, and all I could think about in my head was that Ricky Bobby scene where it was like, yeah. Like, but like that's what I was going to ask as a follow-up too, is because we were talking about progress with Kyle Chaney and how he's looking forward to doing all of these different things. Like, does that mean that you want to look forward to actually holding onto the steering wheel and driving more?
I'm the type that it doesn't matter if I'm in the co-driver's seat or driving. I love both. And if there's any opportunity to do either, I'm down. Like, doesn't matter. Any opportunity to be racing, going fast, I'm down.
Yeah. That's a true, like, genuine love for the sport.
Dude,
like, you're down. If I could just be a part of it, if I could watch it, I'm down.
Well, you can probably feel it, like, inside you right now, the level of...
Getting excited, like, talking about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's how you know. You're meant for it. It's in your blood.
Well, do you have experiences like that too, Bella?
Yeah, I do. Too many to count, honestly, but I feel like every year that you race, you just have countless and more experiences. So I can't even like
Well, I feel like you and
imagine.
Saydie have a lot in common because you guys are so in tune with the things
Yeah.
going on around you and the people and stuff.
No, I think racing definitely plays a huge part. Like, especially like, I don't know, compare a person that doesn't really do this sport that is our age and then us. I feel like it brings a lot of good characteristics and like kind of just teaches you how to be a good human in
Yeah,
general.
definitely, especially when you're surrounded by people that love it as much as you and that you learn so much from them, and then you can grow and love the sport and love like just like that love, that family, like I don't know how to when that family like
It's a common bond.
relationship that everybody has together. Yeah, that bond it makes you a better person, makes you want to be there, and you can carry that on into the rest of your life and treat people in your workplace like that, or
Yeah.
anything like that. You can carry it on.
Yeah, I'd say we have an advantage for sure.
Mhm.
Just growing up a part of it and being a part of it.
Definitely.
Is there any disadvantages?
There's some sacrifices you have to make. Like, I think getting, the high school experience or
Mhm.
prom or things. Oh, sorry, I can't go. I have to go to a dance or,
Yeah.
I mean, I have to go race a car for hours. Like,
Yeah.
can't get dressed up and all pretty. Just like things like that. But overall, I think it's worth it to me.
Yeah. Do you miss that, Saydie?
No.
Yeah. I was the same way too because I never got like when I went to high school, I only went for 2 to 3 days a week, and I was always on the road.
Yeah.
And I only went for maybe an hour a day.
Yeah.
So I was like almost like homeschool. So I missed all of that, like literally everything. I didn't even like go to my graduation. Like I just had my diploma mailed.
Yeah.
So like because it was so crazy, but like I don't regret any of that. So I was just wondering if you guys did.
No, not at all. Definitely so much more fun than going to school or a dance that won't matter later, where you can make memories at a race or with people, meet new people, where you wouldn't do that at a dance where you're just dancing and then it's like, okay, I'm done.
Well, the dance might matter. Like if somebody slips and falls down, you get to laugh at them, and you're like, "Oh, dude."
That's a core moment. Yeah, I do agree though. Like it just depends on what's worth it to you or not. Because I mean, I did my first 2 years of high school like in actual school every day, 5 days a week, and I kind of had to make like the decision. Hey, like, is racing really important? I'm about to go homeschooled. I'm about to put my all into it. I need to decide right now, and I chose to stick with racing. It's taught me way more, I feel like, in my life than really school has.
Absolutely.
And I do appreciate school. I think it's very important to be educated and everything for sure. But just for me personally, it definitely works.
Same here. Same here. I've learned so much more being homeschooled just in general, especially going to the races, than I ever have in school at all.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree.
I want to know what her favorite subject is.
I know.
I would probably say math.
Yeah.
Dude, that's definitely opposite of Bella. Bella doesn't want math.
You should have heard the question he asked me before we pressed this live button.
Yeah, how many seconds is 3 minutes?
I said 90.
How many seconds is 3 minutes?
Yeah.
120.
Oh, close.
180?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, you're better than me.
Nailed it.
In a minute?
60 seconds, yep. 6 times 3.
I was about half off.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If you had said 6.9, we would have had a really, really bad time.
6.9.
That's cool though. Math will actually take you pretty far if you like it.
Definitely. I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, if I didn't have to do school, I would not be doing school. But
yeah.
But
that's very true.
Out of all of them, I think it's mainly just my teacher. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Austin said lunch was his favorite.
Yep. Recess for me.
Gym class, so you can just get all swole.
Yep. Bulk season. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about being at the races? Is it the camaraderie, or is it actually like just enjoying the speed in the car? Like, what's your favorite? Because I know a lot of people say all kinds of different answers about this.
My favorite part about racing or being at the races, I think it has to be the people, honestly, because the people are what make it fun. If we just had racing, like think if you just watch racing on TV and by yourself, say you're just watching Supercross on TV by yourself, it's not as fun if you're actually there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, and everybody's cheering. It's just a different experience. I think it's the people for me.
Yeah.
All right, since you just talked about Supercross, we should have people send in comments right now. Who's going to be at Phoenix Supercross so they can hang out with us and the Eberts?
So
Yeah. Didn't you just recently go to Supercross?
yes, I did. I went to A1 and A2.
Okay.
Oh, huge Supercross. I thought she was going to say 1. She already went to 2.
Yeah. I do got one more question I've been planning to ask. What motto or mindset has stuck to you that's helped motivate you throughout your racing or co-racing career?
Mom, stop. Sorry.
I want to hear what she said.
Your mom beats you.
That's hilarious.
Definitely not that. I think it's just that every day is an opportunity, is a new opportunity, and every time you wake up, there's chances for something new to happen in your life, and you got to just keep pushing forward and trying to find the next thing and keep going with your life. I think that's really it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've been talking about for the last 2 episodes. That progress and that thing that you're always looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many people that don't have that in this life. They just sit around and they're just with their thumb up their butt the whole time, and they don't have anything to look forward to. Like, I consider us, as much hard work as you guys put into this, I consider all of us very lucky that we have the opportunity to be able to go out and have goals and have progress and have something to look forward to, because that keeps you a way better human being.
Yeah, for sure. And we all get the opportunity to do it, We all get the opportunity to wake up and have a different mindset. Some people are dealt different cards, but at the end of the day, it's really you. You are in control of what you do with your life. You can't, and the same with accountability. You can't, wake up and say, oh, this happened, so I can't accomplish this. You take accountability for what happened and you move forward.
Absolutely. I think as long as you're making progress, you're doing 10 times better than a lot of people nowadays. A lot of people just kind of settle for what they have.
Yeah.
To me, that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
Hey, so talking about what people have, both of you guys have fantastic hair, by the way. But everybody always comments on how beautiful Saydie's hair was.
Oh, my gosh.
We already got people that were chiming in before, and I just got 2 text messages on it. Dude, so you guys can have girl talk about it, but I just wanted to mention it because I got a couple texts about it.
Oh, dude, I love your hair. I love your
hair.
Thank you.
Shiny. I'm always like, what product does she use? I don't know.
Also, we go from racing to talking about products.
Hair products. We're just girls.
It's okay. It's okay because it's Bella's Corner.
My mom said she's beautiful. I agree.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but
I wanted to ask one more thing.
Go ahead.
What is your goal in 5 years?
5 years. I gotta think of how old I'll be.
You're still going to be young. It doesn't really matter.
21.
Yeah.
I want to definitely be an ultrasound tech, so I'm trying to get into probably do trade school for that. So hopefully starting that right after I'm done with high school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna graduate. That's not like a maybe. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And I want to be happy. No matter what I'm doing, I want to be happy, and I want to be able to do the things that I love and be successful at the same time. In whatever I decide to do.
Yeah. That goes a long way.
Yeah, a long ways. And since you guys are talking so mature now, how do you guys achieve those goals? Do you guys actually write down milestones? Do you have a to-do list that you go through? Do you have goals for the year? How do you usually do it?
Well, shout out to Sarah Price and my mom, of course. But Sarah Price is the one that made me write down all of my goals in a journal and send it to her. So that I got it all written down. And every time I accomplish something new, I check it off. Every time that I'm struggling with something, I find solutions in that notebook, or I ask people that could help me. And just again, make that progression and keep moving forward with my life.
Yeah. So just the fact that she has that, but you want to know what I always tell everybody. I've told Caden Danbury this a bunch of times. Anytime you write something down, you actually handwrite it. I forgot what it's like 83% more apt to be successful.
Yeah.
If you just like think about it and you don't write it down, it's probably going to fall by the wayside. So just writing it down makes that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even being like determined and motivated for sure. Like I think most parents teach their kid, a lot of parents teach their kids that, but not really like much these days. Like just like oh, if you want something, you chase after it. If you want something, you put the work in for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh look, yeah, Sassy Cass said hand to heart when you read it down.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about it. That's it.
Yeah. That makes total sense. Try that sometime.
Keep kicking butt, Saydie. You're doing awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank? Friends, family, pictures?
Well, she has to thank mom and dad. They're right next to her.
Yes, that's true.
I definitely have to thank my parents. They're the only reason that I'm here on this earth and I've gotten so far. And I mean, friends and family, the people that keep me going as well. Anybody and all the people that I've met throughout racing and all the people that support me and comment and stuff and message me, they're all awesome. So and you guys. Oh my gosh, duh, you guys.
You should thank yourself too.
I do.
Yes.
I thank myself.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. It was really great getting to meet you actually.
Yes.
But yeah, I really appreciate everything. I relate to you with everything for sure, and I hope that we can have another counterment and talk again.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for letting me on, and see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
See you guys later. It's cool to see. You'll see her at the races. I guarantee that.
Oh yeah, she said good luck to me before when we were pulling in for KOH.
Where at?
KOH.
Oh, is that KOH?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did she already know she was going to be on the show?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she's sucking up to you, dude. Totally sucking up to you. Do we have anybody else left?
We do. Michael McFayden. I switched them on accident, so.
Yeah, way to go, bro.
Yeah, that was a rookie mistake. Won't do that next time. But.
Hey, when you talk to the people that are going to be guests, do you like give them instructions like how to join and stuff like that, or do they already know?
No, I don't. But maybe I should, huh?
I don't know. I'm just wondering if because like all of your friends have been like super, or all of the people all of your guests have been super easy to get on the show because like most of them are already on point, like getting it done. So
maybe they're excited.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. How about you?
Doing great. I've just been watching the live since it's got started.
I'm sorry I switched you guys. I didn't realize I did it until I looked at the paper. I was like, oh gosh.
No, it's all right. No worries.
You got an intro for him?
Yes, I do have an intro for you.
Oh, sweet.
Michael McFayden is 17 years old from Southern California, and just a couple of years of racing, he has already hardware under his belt and a bunch of wins. KOH was a solid weekend for him, so we'll get a race recap of all your accomplishments.
Yeah, young, fast guy.
I know. So, just this last month, you landed second place spot at the King of Hammers Desert Challenge and 6th overall. Give us a race recap, green flag to checkered.
KOH is an awesome race. My favorite part's definitely the fans there. It's awesome getting to the start line and seeing everybody out there and knowing that there's the live streams out there, like the Star Stream system that we had going. And it was, from the start, we just knew we had to set a good pace and run a clean race since we pre-ran. We saw it was a rough course, but we knew it was going to be a fast pace because there was a lot of fast guys out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we started and we just followed our notes, set a good pace. We had a really clean day, 0 issues the whole day. I think we ran pretty conservatively, but that was my goal because I've previously had bad luck at this race. Like the first time I raced, it actually crashed at mile 1.
Oh, wow.
So
Dang.
I really wanted to get to the finish this time.
Yeah, for sure. And you accomplished that,
Yep.
so
Thank
progress. Definitely.
Yeah, there you go. More progress. I was actually pretty impressed too because I was like, we got to obviously see him, but I was like, man, he's really hauling the mail. Like he's got a I don't know what it was called. Like vengeance was the first word that came to mind. I was like, but he's got a heavy right foot today.
Yeah, that course, it was rough, it was fast, and our car was working well the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a plus.
Yeah, massive plus.
King of Hammers can be very hard on every vehicle.
You know what? Actually, one question I was thinking about asking you too, like, and I was going to ask you this off the air, was like, where did you learn to work on the car and like get such a I don't know, a close bond with your car? Because it always seems like you do have a good working car.
Yeah, so currently we're racing our second race car, and this car I worked hard to get it put together. We worked with Mitchell Alsup.
Okay.
And I went up to their shop to do all the fit and finish with him. And I mean, I wired the car, and I was there when we did everything, so I know the car inside and out. I do all the prep work, and my buddy Sean, he taught me how to prep a race car, and we just check everything off the list and make sure it's good to go.
Yeah.
Did you know Michael before he ever raced?
No. Actually, yes, I did. I went to elementary school with you.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's cool. Small world.
No, I didn't realize that until I was talking to my mom, and I was like, yeah, I'm having him come on the show, and she was like, wait, what? Wait, he's from here.
Did you guys ever have a yearbook?
No, I should have brought that.
That would have been so epic.
Yeah.
I have my yearbook somewhere.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. We should post a picture on the Dirt Life of you guys.
No, I'm going to go home and go look now. Dude. Are you a junior this year or a senior?
I'm a senior this year.
Okay. So you're a year older than me, which means if we were in elementary school together, you would have always been a year older. So now I know where to look.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait to see these pictures.
Being a part of the racing world in so many aspects, just being a part of a racing team and having to race in a car and stuff like that, what would you say is your favorite overall highlight of this whole sport?
My favorite part about this sport is the camaraderie, all the people being able to get together and everybody be, like-minded, everyone want to help each other. And it's great going to the races knowing that if you have an issue, that there is someone out there that would be willing to help you.
Yeah.
And our team, we're always willing to help everybody. We always try to give back as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually saw it at the Parker 400, the last race. We were out in the pits, and then this one kid came through, and he was like, he didn't have any pits or anybody there, and he needed to get gas and like look at his car, and his team went up and helped him.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see.
We gave him a couple gallons, made sure he got through the race.
Yeah, that's really rad and greatly appreciated upon the entire. Everybody sees that, and especially if you're doing it not. Oh, I'm doing it because someone's looking at me or something,
Yeah, you're not doing it for the kudos. You're just doing it to help. Yeah, it's genuine.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Our pit crew is awesome. No matter what, if someone needs help, it doesn't matter if you're in a Can-Am, a Polaris. It doesn't matter. We're ready to help, and that's what we want to do.
Hey, who's the funniest guy in your pit crew? Because everybody has the funny guy, the jokester.
Oh, dang. It's probably Sean. Sean, he's funny.
He's always messing with people? Who's is it on your crew?
Oh.
Well, I mean, other than Cruz.
Well, yeah, other than Cruz.
Cruz is always messing with everybody.
Probably Richard. I think Richard is the mechanic.
Yeah.
He's probably the funniest. He cracks out a joke every 5 minutes.
Really?
Lightens the mood.
Like a dad joke or like a really funny joke?
Any joke. Any joke. It could be insulting. It could be anything.
Oh, like he comes at you with all kinds of jokes.
Oh, yeah. But it's all jokes. We love Richard.
Good.
We all know it's pretty hard to have gourmet meals on race day. What was your favorite snack in between meals for KOH?
Probably Gushers. Gushers are on race weekends.
Yeah.
But my grandparents, they come to every race, and they're kind enough to support us and the pit crew with, we have steak dinner the race before, the day before the race, and provide sandwiches for lunch during race and everything.
Who's the cook?
My grandmother.
Oh.
That's authentic.
See, we just talked about the jokester in the pits, and then we got the cook in the pits. Who usually sets up your guys' meals?
Oh, we got Joe, the taco guy.
Oh,
he was cooking up some tacos in the middle of the pit at King Hammers.
Dude.
After we broke.
Apparently, I was hanging out in the wrong spots.
Yeah, no, I feel you on the gushers. That's my low snack in the race car.
Well, and we got some tips from Kyle Chaney, who obviously, Michael and you both would have to look up to because you could want to be as fast as Kyle. But like he was saying, it's very important to make sure that you're eating right.
Yeah, drinking water. Yeah, it goes a long way taking care of yourself.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
What about like on race day? Do you guys put certain things in the car? Like, I don't know, do you overhydrate? Do you have electrolytes, like stuff like that?
The day before the race, I'll make sure to drink a lot of water, so I'm really hydrated. And I'll eat a big dinner. Like my grandma, she makes steak dinners, and we have mashed potatoes and everything.
Carb load.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And then I make sure to we'll pack some snacks and we'll load our water bags. So if we need any water, that we have everything we need in the car.
Yeah, preparing.
Well, you're always prepared when you go.
Oh yeah, gotta be though. But I'm also a foodie, so I can't go too long without food.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like right now I'm really want sushi, but I kind of feel like sushi would not be the move the day before the race.
Oh no.
No, definitely not.
No. Do you like sushi?
Depends. Everyone's
Depends. Yeah. What did you do to celebrate such a successful day after King Hammers?
I celebrated by getting ready to prep for the next one.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Spoken like a true racer.
True cycle.
Yeah, we had a great race. It was a solid run for sure. Getting second place in class and the 6th overall was really, really awesome, and no issues all day. It was a great race, and next time I'm gonna try to get the first place. It's what I'm always going for, and we're gonna keep working towards that.
Saydie just says Michael likes Sunny D. Is that your weakness?
I don't like Sunny D.
Oh, that's why she said it.
She's messy.
That is kind of hilarious. Though, remember we were talking about being intuitive. She just threw us for a loop, try to trick us.
She tricked you guys.
Is it called reverse?
Reverse psychology.
Yep, that's what it is.
Way to go, Saydie. Thanks for tricking us. So now, if like I ever believe anything that she says, I don't know. Maybe not.
Gonna have to reverse it. Yeah.
Hey, so was there anything that like I want to go back to that whole racer mentality, right? Like, is there anything that you would have done to actually make it like when you got done and you were like, oh, okay, I crossed the finish line in second place. I'm proud of that, but I really wanted to have first place. What could I have done better? Do you go like debrief with the team? Do you hold accountability for yourself? Like, what do you do better?
I think I just need to figure out where I can be faster. And I always go out. We do practice sessions where we'll just go out testing and get seat time in the car. That's the biggest thing. Learning how the car is going to work, learning where we could be faster. And that race, we had a really good day. I just wasn't driving hard enough.
Yeah.
Could you have gone harder?
I lost most of my time in the prologue. I didn't expect the guys to be all out the whole 30-something miles. Mm-hmm. I had a pretty conservative pace that day.
Yeah.
Oh,
that also has an advantage too, because a lot of people were going out there and braking, the first 5 miles and stuff. So keeping a conservative mindset really helps, especially in desert racing, because it's not, pedal to the floor the whole time. The cars can be temperamental, so that does help.
Yeah, especially with it being the prologue, we ruin our race when it wasn't the race, right?
Right. Yeah, some people do look at it differently, though. People look at a prologue like, oh, this is my time to completely crush it, and some people are like, well, it's not race day, so.
Yeah.
How do you put yourself in that mindset or in that position? Do you just talk with your team and be like, all right, what's the plan? And then you guys just all like come together and figure it out?
Yeah, our team, we work together really closely. So we're always working to make the car better so we go faster. And we knew that we were lacking a little bit during the prologue. So after, we actually were staying at Wayne's place with All Tech Motorsports. And after the prologue, we went and did shock tuning so that our car can work better for race day. So we're always trying to improve to make sure that we are getting better, getting faster, so we could always compete with the fastest guys there are.
Yeah, that sounds like he's learning a lot along the way, too.
Yeah, some gnarly preparation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 10% takes 90% of the time.
Yeah. That's a really good way to look at it.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
You just have to get to that last 10%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you got anything else for Michael?
No, I just think he's doing such a great job. I know some of the behind the scenes stuff, and I really hope that whatever works out for him is just keeps him pushing forward, because I know there's a lot of good stuff coming from Michael.
Yeah, for sure. I'm rooting for you.
Hey, keep kicking butt too, and keep that whole family vibe, dude. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank? Sponsors, family, friends, pit crew?
I want to thank my family, my mom and my dad. They're the reason I'm doing this. My grandparents, Procraft Construction, my sponsors like KWI. We were at the race and we were having clutching issues, and they helped us out right away. They got us all the parts that we needed in Raceline wheels. But Procraft is a big help. They are the title sponsor of our race team, and we couldn't do without that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a favorite like victory or favorite moment that you've experienced so far?
I have a couple. So last year we were able to race the Baja 1000 with Murray Racing, and we were able to take home the win in the turbo forced induction class.
Nice,
that was
dude.
a really big moment for us.
What car was that in?
It was in Murray Racing's Can MX3. Yep.
They build a solid platform too. Yeah, that's cool, man. That must have felt really good.
Yeah, it was awesome to go out there and have the Murrays trust me to run a 300-mile section during the Baja 1000, and it was a really good experience, and I want to thank them for that too.
Yeah, not just that though, but like you're putting yourself in a position where you're not used to your regular program, you're not used to regular diet. Like everything changes when you're in a program like that. So was it easy for you to adapt?
The cars, the UTVs are pretty similar. Their car drove a little bit different, but we just got in and like we hadn't driven it until we were already down in Loretto. And we got in, we figured the car out, and we hopped in and just raced our race and made sure we got it to the third driver because there was still 600 miles left of the race.
Did you get to drive in that rain section?
We drove not on the rain section. We got in at 350 and drove to 600, and it was a night section.
Dang.
Dude, it's pretty crazy.
That is conquering.
Would you drive the Baja 1000?
You'll have to see in the future.
Look at you with the secrets. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Later, bud.
Bye.
All right. Want to sign us off?
Yeah,
I think you did a great job today, by the way, Bella.
I think I'm trying.
You held down your first, we'll call it, race recap show.
Yeah, I know. This was the first race recap, and with one of my favorite races, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff to unpack, like we talked about before.
Let's thank some sponsors.
All right. Thanks to everybody from KMC Wheels. We really appreciate everybody. Maxxis Tires, like I said, those guys have been helping out so much, and they're giving back to the off-road community. So whenever you guys have a chance, if you guys need new tires or anything for your UTV, please visit them or go down to your dealership and ask if they have some Maxxis tires. They have two different ones. The Razor works really, really well if you're doing trail riding. This is what I use because I don't do the rocks very much. And then for the rocks, you can use the Rockzilla. That was just a super good tire at KOH. Thanks to Motul, thanks to Shock Therapy, JL Audio, Evolution Power Sports, and Zollinger Racing Products.
All right, we're signing off.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll see you guys at Bella's Corner episode 4 next month.
This is episode 5, so we got episode 6 coming up.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, remember what we said? Episode 7 is when you really made it.
Oh, yeah.
Close.
So, hopefully we'll get there.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in. The KOH recap was awesome. See you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.